Ask anyone who watches football one simple question. How many wins does it take to become world champion? Most people will say 7, because that's how it used to work. Win 7 games, lift the trophy, simple. But 2026 is different. And if nobody told you that, you might be in for a surprise. Because FIFA didn't just add more teams this time, they changed the entire road to the trophy. New rounds, new rules, and one stage where a single bad day sends you home. So today we're answering one question. If you want to win the 2026 FIFA World Cup, exactly how many matches do you need to win? And why is the answer more complicated than it sounds? Let's find out. First, a little context. FIFA decided that 2026 would be the biggest World Cup in history. Not 32 teams, not even 40. A full 48 teams from across the world. More spots for Africa, more spots for Asia, more spots for smaller footballing nations who never got a shot before. In theory, this sounds great. More football, more countries, more stories. In practice, it created a logistical puzzle. How do you run a clean tournament with 48 teams? Because 48 doesn't divide evenly into the old group of 4 format. You can't just add more groups and call it a day. So, FIFA came up with a new structure, and this is where it gets interesting. Here's how the tournament is actually set up. The 48 teams are divided into 12 groups, 4 teams per group. Each team plays 3 matches inside their group. The top 2 from every group automatically advance. That's 24 teams moving forward. But wait, 12 groups, 2 teams each. That's only 24. What about the remaining teams? Here's the twist. The 8 best third-place finishers also advance. So finishing third in your group doesn't automatically send you home. If you did well enough, compared to every other third-place team across all 12 groups, you're still in. That means 32 teams make it out of the group stage, which, by the way, is the same number of teams that started the entire 2022 World Cup. Just let that sink in for a second. Now, the knockout rounds begin. And from here, it's simple. You lose, you go home. 32 teams enter the round of 32. Win, and you go to the round of 16. Win again, and you're in the quarterfinals. Win that, and you're in the semifinal. Win the semifinal, and you're in the final. Win the final, and you are world champion. So, let's count. Group stage, 3 matches. You don't need to win all 3. You just need to finish in the top 2, or be one of the best third-place teams. In theory, you could draw all 3 group games and still qualify. But let's be real. No serious contender is planning around draws. You want to win. So we'll count the group stage as 3 matches where the goal is to win. Then, round of 32, round of 16, quarterfinal, semifinal, final. That's 5 knockout matches. Add the 3 group stage games, and you get 8 matches total. 8, not 7. 8. That's the new answer. If you want to lift the trophy in 2026, you need to go through 8 matches. Here's where it gets interesting, though. In 2022, the answer was 7 matches. The old 32-team format had no round of 32. You went straight from the group stage into the round of 16. 1 round fewer. FIFA added the round of 32 specifically because of the expanded field. More teams in. 1 extra knockout round. 1 more match standing between you and the title. This sounds simple. It isn't. Because that extra match matters enormously. Think about it. You're a top team. You've just played 3 group stage matches. Your players are tired. And now, before you even get to the familiar round of 16, you have to play a full knockout game. Against a team that is desperate, hungry, and has absolutely nothing to lose. That's a trap. And historically, upsets happen in exactly this kind of match. Now, let's talk about the teams who just barely squeeze through. The 8 best third-place finishers. You know the type. They didn't dominate their group. Maybe they lost 1 game, maybe they drew 2. But they survived, barely. And now they're in the round of 32. For these teams, the path to the title is actually the same. They still need to win 5 knockout matches. The math doesn't change just because you snuck in through the back door. What changes is momentum. What changes is confidence. A team that topped their group feels different, walking into a knockout match, versus a team that wasn't even sure they'd make it out. Football isn't just numbers. but numbers do tell a story. So here's the final answer. To become world champion in 2026, minimum 3 group stage matches, then 5 consecutive knockout wins, 8 matches in total, one more than the last World Cup. And here's the thought I want to leave you with. We started with what seemed like a simple question. How many wins? Turns out it's not just about the number, it's about the road. 8 matches across roughly 5 weeks, against the best teams on the planet, with everything on the line in every single knockout game. The teams that win World Cups don't just have talent, they have depth, they have fitness, they have the ability to win ugly when they have to. In 2026, that road just got 1 match longer. One more chance to get knocked out. One more test of everything. So the real question isn't how many wins you need. The real question is, which team is actually built to survive all 8? If you want to go deeper into the 2026 World Cup, the groups, the format, the teams to watch, subscribe. We're covering the whole thing. Subscribe. We're covering the whole thing.